Hello, welcome to Hug Nation Live. I am John Halcyon. This is a daily practice of gratitude. I would love to hear what you're grateful for. It's a combination of shared gratitude as well as recognition of one another, as well as it's a reminder that the world is filled with open-hearted, loving people like you. It's so easy for me to get a little pessimistic about the world and the people in it. And I have to remember that in addition to what I see in comments that on social media, that is good chance it's a bot, or someone who's been influenced by a bot. And that certainly all of us are demonstrating our version of brainwashing, but it can start to feel like there's a big whole bunch of them and not enough of us. And this is a chance to remember, wait, there's lots of us. And by us, I don't mean pro or against any sort of issues, but just open-minded, open-hearted people that would rather hug you than hurt you. And once we start really knowing that, it allows us to demonstrate that in the world. And then other people can be inspired by us. We give them permission to let out that heart shine that is discouraged. When you start to believe that the world out there is trying to get you, it's safer to dim your heart light song, both. And so if we can remind each other every day that we are surrounded by millions, if not billions, of other shining, beautiful people, it just makes it so much easier. And especially if you know that it's a form of activism. So thank you for your service, fellow Love Ambassador. Good morning, Lizzie. Good morning, Sanda. If you are here, leave a comment, say hello, share what you are grateful for. Natasha says, that is why I am so grateful to be able to catch this practice and that you do it. Yeah. Now, I put the headline or the description of today's broadcast as a celebration of wise women. And I'm going to explain my current state of inspiration and inspiring women in just a moment. But think about what you're grateful for, and we'd love to hear what it is. Welcome, Alley Cat and Ed and Vance. Welcome, Juan. So I have a flyer up. Last night was the dress rehearsal for the chorus concert that is tonight in San Diego on the 22nd in Monterey. And man, we sound great. And then tonight, Mom Muse is going to join us. And if you're unfamiliar with Mom Muse, give a Spotify search or Bandcamp or just have a listen. They sound so good and such good vibe people. I met them once before when they came through town and stayed with Lisa and I. And the chorus has been practicing, I think half the songs that we're doing are by Mom Muse. And so it's going to be really special to be having them sing, the main parts, and then we do backing for some of their songs. It's going to be fantastic. So there are still some tickets. It may sell out tonight. I think there's like 350 tickets have been sold, and I think there's like 500 available. So if you have a thought of going in San Diego, you can still come. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be, I guarantee your heart will be touched. Good morning, Edward. Juan is grateful for a beautiful day after the storm. I just noticed my reflection. I'm trying a little like pop guard on my mic to see if it makes less like that makes sometimes it's problematic in the recording. But it also covered, visually, it seemed to take up a lot of my face. So I gotta maybe decide how I'm gonna do that. Maybe I do it like from the side like that. Maybe that would work. Maybe that would work. Now you can see my sexy Adam's apple. Good morning, Joyous. Or good day, depending on what time it is for you. It is 9 a.m. in San Diego, California. High Noon is singing. Hello, y'all, you beautiful beings. Y'all are rock stars. And, considering tonight is the concert, I should probably return to my practice of starting the day with a song. Welcome to this beautiful day. It's time to share. And if you've got a little bit of good news, boy, I sure do care about what is making your heart sing and what is making it good. And no matter where you are physically, you're in the Hug Nation neighborhood. Welcome to Hug Nation Live. Bop, 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 bop. Hug Nation Live. Edward says, I am grateful for my swimmers. I started coaching swimming after a 12-year break. Not sure why I stopped. Bravo. I am such a fan of coaches and the role that plays in people's lives. Lisa's father coaches high school and has for a long time, and I think currently he's coaching golf. And it's so beautiful to hear him talk about his job and how much of it is about, encouraging and growing young people's spirits and identities, as opposed to how to score the most points. And I just think it's such a beautiful opportunity to be a positive role model. So I'm so glad that you're doing that, Edward. Natasha says, I'm grateful to be making plans for my aunt from SLO to come stay with us for a visit later this month in Albuquerque. She has never met my kids or husband, and I haven't seen her myself in a couple of decades. Wow, that's good for you. Well done. Man, that's awesome. Natasha says, yeah, what the heck? Where's the song? I was promised a song. Nailed it. Thank you. So welcome Raven and Salk and anyone who is coming in and out. It's really an interesting, like, I can see like how many people vaguely are in live. And it's funny how Instagram, it'll show me the names of everyone as they show up, but it doesn't say when they leave. So I see all these names and then I go, oh, how many people are there? It says 0 or 1. So people just pop in and bolt. So I am trying to let go of the feeling of like, what, am I not enough? Like, what, like, I'm singing, I'm dancing. Please, what do I need to do? It's like, okay, I'm going to relax. Bauman's here. Good morning. Welcome. Good to see you. And Nate as well. Okay, well then Nate and Bauman, you guys got to stay for a minute or two because I want to share about the wise women in my world and in my house. So I'm going to take this flyer down so I can have all my wingspan to share. Natasha's saying that my high school cross country coach really changed my life. So cool. Thank you to all those that play the role of positive role models in young people's lives. So tonight is the concert. And so not only do we have all the San Diego people that are going to be singing, but we have people that are coming in there's people that have come from the Monterey Choir that are coming to join us, as well as a few people that I am going to now celebrate and share these incredible people. One is Caitlin Wild, who is a musician, a philosopher, such an incredible person, really close with Lisa. And they performed together many, many times, and she's part of the band in Monterey. And so she's coming to join the band down here. So she's staying at our house right now. So I've got to hang out with one of my favorite people that I've met through Lisa, although that's a long list because Lisa has an amazing network of friends. And so cool to have her here. And she's just such a combination of like eternal, grounded, wise wisdom woman and hilarious rock star, bright, shining light. So grateful to have Caitlin here in this home. And we also have Martha Rosenthal staying with us, who is another incredible woman. She is Don Rosenthal's widow. Don Rosenthal is Lisa's mentor, and talked about him many times. Like, this is a book that Don and Martha wrote together, From Conflict to Lasting Harmony. So these are, some of the world experts on how to be in successful relationship. And Martha's just a wonderful woman. And so she is staying with us, coming down for the concert. And so to have her energy and her just awesomeness in our space is incredible. And then any minute now, Sarah and Carisha from Mamuse are going to be staying at our house tonight because they're the kind of stars of the show tonight. So, and they are incredible musicians, incredible people. They've so there's and then Lisa, and it's starting to get a little obnoxious how much I give gratitude for Lisa, but I'm not going to stop because I am so proud to be her partner. I'm so continually inspired by Lisa. So last night we had dress rehearsal, and I'm like going through my own nervousness and all my own stuff. Lisa, meanwhile, is leading these 80 individual people, all with issues like mine, plus this tech team that's trying to set up for the show, plus the band, plus all the logistics of where we're going to stand, and has to kind of not has to. She is able to manage all of this energies and crowds and people and get everyone's needs met, all with this cheer in her that is so inspiring to me. It man, I am certainly when they say the best way to grow is to have the people around you lift you up and inspire you and be better than you. And man, have I been given a good deal by the universe by having Lisa in my closest confidant and partner. So Lisa, Caitlin, Martha, Zora, and why do I keep messing up? Carisha, all going to be staying under this roof tonight. And I am going to be so filled up with wise women power. So stoked. So grateful for the gifts of the feminine that hopefully are growing and growing in not just my life, but in the world, because boy, could we use more of that. What are you grateful for? I would love to hear. Please share. Raven says, I love this for you. A house absolutely full of good vibes today. Yeah, seriously. This is, I did something right to be in this situation. Natasha says, that sounds amazingly buzzy. Lucky you and Lisa and Susie. And that's right. And then tonight, or like last night, I got to hang out with my mom, as well as all the awesome women in the choir. And then tonight, my mom will be there and she'll get to meet all these women too. Yay. Joya says, grateful to be here, lifting my spirits and remembering all I'm grateful for. Thanks, Joyous. Wise women power, full house. I mean, it's a good thing that I grew my beard out because I need to hold on to any last bit of masculine energy that I have because it's getting overpowering in here in a good way. Welcome, Sobi, and anyone who is here. Would love to hear what you're grateful for. I'm grateful that since we have a full house of people, Caitlin slept last night in the Hugmobile that is kind of in our driveway parkway, and she loved it. And I always have to kind of the Hugmobile is a 1983 motorhome, and if you've ever been in a really old car, it has smells and things, and so she loved sleeping in the Hugmobile. And I think it's the kind of thing where you either it's like the coolest Airbnb ever, or it's really gross. And I've had both. I've had some people go, could I sleep in a tent instead? I'm like, totally. But I love it when people get to stay in the Hugmobile with its fur walls and grandpa wings and just go, that was great. Thanks for, letting me be in such a magical place. I mean, that the Hugmobile has had adventures, like whew, plenty of adventures that would make a porn star blush. Happy birthday, Annalise. Happy birthday, 38. That's a great age to be. Oh my goodness. Happy 38th, Annalise. So grateful that our lives cross in the ways that it does, and I hope it continues to intersect in all sorts of new ways as well. Anyone else want to share a little gratitude for the day, for your life, for something in your life? I am grateful. I'm gonna double down and be grateful for my relationship with my mom, and this how precious it is to be able to share this choir experience with her. You know, there's these certain experiences that I've been able to share with her that take our good relationship deeper. Like, you know, when she went to Burning Man with me 12 years ago or something like that, where we had a great relationship. But then when you share things that you get to know each other even more. So she got to see me more. And I think through being in this choir, I know her better, as well as I know Lisa better, because song and singing is such a huge part of their lives. And so for me to like start to feel some of the magic of that communal singing experience, it helps me to understand and get their hearts more. Christina, good morning. Good day. Christina says, grateful to slow down. Hot water heater broke, so I had to heat water for a bath today. Oh my goodness. A nuisance, but also made me appreciate the little things we take for granted. Thank you for sharing that. That is one of the reasons I love doing group gratitudes, because I took a hot shower yesterday and I did not stop to be grateful for the hot water. I took it for granted. I will not do that today. I certainly try to come back to that. In fact, there's a podcast that just went live. Lisa had me on her podcast, A Song for All of Us. And we talked a lot about gratitude. And I kind of went on this whole tirade like, do you realize that I've got water that comes right out of the wall and I can change whatever temperature it is? And get this, I've got this place where I can just like put my excrement in it and I hit a button and it disappears. And then there's this remote control things and it will shoot hot water at my bottom and clean me up. It's like living inside a miracle. So thank you for that reminder of the simple blessings of heated water on demand is something that the richest kings did not have access to up until, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. And Tasha says, my kids both say my husband has feminine energy and also say he's the most manly person they know. So I think I think that's a significant observation. And it's something that, I've gotten more and more focused on doing men's work. And there are those that, based on certain attributes of myself and certain ways about me, that some people would like to characterize me as not being masculine because I don't chop wood, and I'm sensitive and I cry without apology. But I am a huge believer that the evolved masculine is one that integrates aspects of the feminine, celebrates aspects of the feminine, and the masculine becomes a side that is respected and cultivated without fear of the feminine. And that's what makes the masculine powerful, is its welcoming and integration and celebration of the feminine. And I think that's a part of my path and what I try to encourage and teach and celebrate. Christina said, I listened to the podcast episode and enjoyed it. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear that. Thank you. Neat. Good morning, brother. Nate says, I am grateful for the changing season and have some family at tonight's concert, singing and smiling with so many beautiful people. Yeah, I think my dad's going to be there. And yeah, it's going to, I'll be honest, I was a little scared that it was not going to be a lot of people in the audience. And to know that we already have, I think, 350 tickets sold, that theater, it's a gorgeous theater. It's going to be packed, and the energy is going to be electric. Yeah. Hello, Valetas. Valetas shares, grateful for new neighbors moving in and for waking up with a big warm dog. Thank you for sharing. Heinen says, I'm grateful for a dude that grabbed the bag of coffee off a tall shelf yesterday. I am too short to reach it. Thank you, friendly people with long arms. Natasha talking about the water. Legit, first world problems are worth being grateful for. I mean, it's one of my mantras. I love my problems. You know, I think it's a healthy, important recalibration to remember that life has obstacles no matter what. And you don't want a life without obstacles. You would so quickly become bored without any obstacles. So finding a way to appreciate the obstacles you have is one of the keys for living in joy. Welcome, Jovan or Giovanna. Hainan says, yes, and John, thanks for sharing your authentic self. I see you as a brother and mentor. I appreciate that. I enjoy the process of self-observation and reflection, and I enjoy establishing a vibe, a energy, a container that really tries to demonstrate and role model and invite authenticity and a clear celebration of authentic truth over any sort of presentational success metric or whatever. You know, if you to witness someone revealing the truth, the fear, the uncertainty, the excitement, without trying to shape that presentation for some outcome, but just allowing the truth and trusting that this container is one that is honored to receive truth and celebrates it. And the more that we can really believe and know that there is nothing wrong with the truth, then we can start to forgive ourselves when we maybe do or say or mess up on something, quote unquote, mess up. And we can do the same for others and just recognize that we are all this process of learning and steps forward and steps back. And I think that just that awareness, more than any like lesson, that learning to love the fullness of who you are and forgive and celebrate the fullness helps you to do that for others. And if you can be in that state of celebrating the humanity of it all, not the achievement of anything, but the all of it all, that's the path to harmony. That's the path to healing without even like actively working on things. That being in that energy of acceptance, self-love, love of others, it can't help but dissolve and soften the edges, the bad habits, the traumas, the reactivity. All those things start to lose their grip on our behaviors and our thoughts. Shadow says, thanks for holding sacred space. I tend to recalibrate. It's why I really like this daily practice of recalibration is so helpful for me, and I'm so appreciative of it being a group process. I would it is this doesn't work even close to as well for me if I like sit with a journal every day or I read or listen to a lecture. Now I do it does help me like if I listen to a Ram Dass lecture as I go for a walk, that can be a really awesome recalibration. But something about this shared experience that is magical and healing and touches my spirit in a deep way. So I appreciate everyone who participates. Hello, Fireheart. Fireheart says, it took me a lot for me to come to the place that I am worth this gift and that I deserve to take care of myself. Natasha says, the loving of others, even when you don't know them, so important. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the benefits or the results of an ongoing spiritual path of inquiry is a recognition that you are the result of so many factors outside of your control. You know, you were born into a culture, you were probably born into a religion, you were born into a name, you were born into all these cultural things that just becomes the baseline normal. And if you were born, you know, in Ghana, all those things would be different. And you would be raised with all these different influences, and then your perception of what is good and bad and who is worthy of love and not would be totally different. And so when you start to recognize, oh, we're all, you know, doing the best we can with what we got, including me, that I think is the foundation for self-compassion and compassion for the world. Dawn P. Hello. Dawn P says, I know this seems weird, but I'm grateful for the green Converse shoes I thrifted yesterday that I honestly have been manifesting to find. They appeared before me and it was weirdly magical. I love my problems. Love this. Hey, that is an awesome gratitude. Hooray for a thrifting score and one that you manifest. Heck yeah. I'm a huge, like, I have been like I now have I think 5 different versions of this tank top because I love the way it fits, and um and just like discovering a piece of clothing that I love is now I'm now at a point in my life where that makes me quite happy. I'm grateful for this tank top. I'm grateful for the t-shirts that I've been wearing lately that make me so happy. Anyone else want to share any gratitude before we head off into the day? Oh, I love these conversations happening on YouTube. Thank you, High Noon and Fireheart. Dawn says, one man gathers what another man spills. Sweet. Hello, Cianci Nation. Is Cianci Nation anything like Hug Nation? Well, I, once again, am so grateful for the women that I am surrounded in my life. I will, you know, I'll take a moment to say that I was raised in a institutionally misogynistic world. And it took me a long time, and I'm still learning and unlearning aspects of the misogyny in the United States that I grew up in. You know, if I look at the authority figures that I saw in media growing up, you know, it was old white men. And I didn't realize for a long time how much that was deep inside me. You know, if I'm looking through, you know, a YouTube video or a podcast, there was a long time where I subconsciously was inflating the value of a man's perspective than a woman's. I didn't even realize I was doing it. And there's so as I am now in a state in my life where I am partnered with a woman that I admire so profoundly, and as I have so many women in my life that I have so much respect and admiration for, it is an ongoing healing of poor cultural brainwashing. And I certainly hope that our culture continues to push against that, because I see evidence of the opposite. I see evidence of taking steps backward, and I think the worst thing that could happen to this planet is not making space for the feminine leadership, feminine energy in leadership roles and in the steering of our systems. Please, I pray for feminine power to grow and grow in this world. And HY Music says, hey, just joining in. I love hearing you speak. I was just watching a couple of your old videos on Mind If I Let You Down. In that moment, completely resonated. Oh, I so appreciate that. You know, I think I just made it live. There's a new podcast episode where I was answering your question about how do you stay open, or how do you avoid getting hurt, something like that, after Burning Man. So if you go to the Hug Nation podcast that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the most recent episode, I believe, starts off with me answering your question. I'm so glad. It makes me, I love hearing that. Thanks for letting me know. In fact, I really appreciate that, because I've been having some conversations lately where I feel like I've been sharing the best that I got for 30 years and feeling a little like genuinely trying to ask, like, there's so many people making content. Is it valuable for me to keep making it? You know, like, I want to be of service, but only if there is a need or a desire for it. I don't want to fight for likes and clicks and views. So it really means a lot to hear that what I put out there has benefit. So thank you. Dawn says, the universe gifted women with growing and raising humans. Don't be afraid of our leadership skills. Exactly. Natasha says, I am definitely grateful for the women in my life and the girl children I am raising. These kids are way beyond challenging the norms I grew up with, and I'm so here for it. Amen to that. I look at the parenting that I'm seeing done, and it gives me hope. Heinen says, I want to keep taking the steps forward to heal today. Thanks, y'all, for this reminder. We deserve it. Beautiful. Amen, Heinen. Hibernation of healing continues for me, says Joyous. Well, I feel energized and hopeful, and I encourage everyone to check out the new podcast of a song. Oh, you know what? Let me play. I'm gonna play a little clip from Lisa and I talking. Let's see if I can do that. Maybe.
I am doing something I've never done before today. I am being joined on this podcast by my very own fiance. So, full disclaimer, we really like each other, and we cannot hold any truly objective bias about the value of each other's words. So we'll leave that to you.
Well, you are objectively awesome. So even if I didn't love you, I would still be listening to your podcast.
This is a song for all of us. This is a song for all of us.
How do we bridge the divide? We have to choose to. We have to say, I choose no exit, right? With every person at some level.
There is no outside the circle.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you can solve the problem by pushing somebody or some group outside, and that will never work.
Yeah.
It's such a hard, big idea.
It is a hard, big idea.
But that's what we're practicing together.
Right.
Nothing's outside. We're going to figure this all out.
Yeah. And there's not a commitment to a static person, right? I'm not saying yes to all of your behaviors. I'm not saying yes to all of your compulsions or things that feel less good to me. I'm saying yes to the wholeness of you working with those things for the rest of your life. And that because you're working with them, we're working with them.
Thank you, wise women in my world. BNHY Music says, on the topic here, I could say so much. For my gal friends, it's so important for them to be heard and accepted. For me as a man to hold that space for them. I could speak chapters on it, trying to keep it brief though. Fireheart says, one of my rare positive memories from my childhood is when my mom would hit the brakes and she'd lean over to put her hand on my chest to keep me safe. It's one of the images of how I can talk to myself as if to say, I got you. I will take care of you. I'm strong enough now. Beautiful. Juan says, I'm grateful for my 91-year-old mother that leads us in a prayer every day. Oh, thanks, everyone. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Joyous. Heinen says, thanks for the safe space. And John, you will be awesome tonight. It's like an ultra marathon. You've been training, and let's see what comes tonight. Is a journey. Yeah, exactly. I am very lucky. So I am excited about tonight. I will let everybody know tomorrow how the concert goes. And I appreciate your spirit and your energy that will be a part of me all day long. And in this concert, as I am putting those ripples out with the chorus. So let us all be missionaries of this good vibe. Let us all take this collected love and acceptance and make that a part of all of our interactions today. Let's try to wave and smile and pause before we react and have a little extra compassion for ourselves and for others today. And just trust that those little adjustments towards kindness make a difference. So thank you. And thank you for being a part of this support network of love ambassadors. Wherever you are, I encourage you to give yourself a big old squeeze and let it be a symbolic self-hug that we're all a part of. We're all holding one another in this moment. It doesn't matter where your feet are, it matters where your heart is. And we are connected in this space, in this land of Hug Nation. So let's be grateful for this opportunity, grateful for all of the networks that we're a part of that support us. Be grateful for our ability to contribute to others and for the compassion that we can show towards ourselves, and just knowing that practice of acceptance and support internally and externally is an activism that helps heal the world. So let's feel that from one another and for ourselves as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and everybody here, thanks for being here. Happy Hug Nation. I love you. Check out the new Hug Nation podcast. Subscribe, get the next downloads as they come through. Any feedback on it, I would love to hear. You can go to lifestudent.com and see all of the fun stuff that I'm a part of, you can also go to hugnation.com and take you straight to the Hug Nation aspects of what's going on in my world that I would love to share. Valletta says, may the goosebumps of a great show be yours tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Stay hydrated. Good advice. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you, everyone. Hello, Gilda. Have a beautiful day.